Hey guys, my name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna be filming my October book haul. I'm sorry this is going up so late in the month, but there has just been no good time for me to film this video. I just got my nails done today, and I finally got black acrylic nails just in time for Halloween. Anyways, let's jump into the books that I got this month. Again, I didn't really count this month, but I'm assuming this is probably close to about 30 books again. Anyways, let's start off with my book of the month selections as usual, because if you didn't know, I'm a book of the month ambassador, so they send me a few of their selections every month to promote on my social medias. And so this month I actually only received 2 copies from them. The first one is going to be The Water Dancer. This one is a really sad story about this boy named Hiram who was born into bondage. His mother was sold away and he was robbed of all memory of her, but was gifted with a mysterious power. I've been hearing a lot about this book, and I know that it was recently selected as one of Oprah's book club picks. So this one I feel like is going to be something that's very hard to read, but I'm also very interested in this. So if you've read this, let me know what your thoughts are on this. The second book I picked this month is Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson, and I actually did read this book this month. I wasn't really planning on it, but it's so freaking short that I just decided to give it a go. And this book is basically about these 2 girls who went to college together, and then years later one of them reaches out because she's currently working in politics and her husband is going to be running for president, and she asks her if she could babysit her kids, like kind of become a nanny for the kids. And she finds out that these kids light on fire when they get very upset, like they just burst into flames. So it's kind of a very interesting magical realism in a contemporary book. It's just very interesting. Next up, I'm also an affiliate for Book of the Month YA, which is the new young adult 5 selections that they do every month as well. And this month I picked Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell because I wasn't a huge fan of Carry On, but I just really love Simon and Baz, and this is the sequel to Carry On. So I honestly feel like I need a refresher of Carry On before I get into this one. But this one is beautiful and it's in my possession and I'm so excited about it. Really love this cover, oh my gosh. This is like a young adult fantasy kind of series, which is why you might be surprised that I enjoy it, so yeah. Alright, next up is Grand Central Publishing was kind enough to send me a copy of Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. I actually reached out to them and asked if I could receive this book because this was going to be the book that Jacqueline and I were buddy reading for the month of October, and I actually did an entire reading vlog dedicated to reading this massive 700-page book, and it ended up being a really fun time. Jacqueline and I are also going to be doing a live show on my YouTube channel for the first time for this book, which might already be up on my channel depending on what time this video goes up. If it is, I'll link it down below. This is a horror novel that follows this little boy Christopher who's 7 years old, and he goes missing in the woods for 6 days, and when he comes back home he seems a little bit off and different. That's pretty much all I can say without spoiling you, but oh my gosh dude, this book is one wild ride. Next up, Atria Books sent me a finished copy of The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell, which is so incredibly kind of them because I think they know that I'm a huge fan of Lisa Jewell, but unfortunately I actually did read this book earlier this year as a NetGalley arc, and I wasn't a huge fan of this one, but it's still so kind that they actually sent me a finished copy of this. I really do appreciate it. But this one is an adult thriller, and it's about this family who's living in this house, and they have these people living upstairs that are kind of strange. Alright, next up, I received 4 books from Booksparks this month. Booksparks is doing their fall campaign. It's the Hit the Book Club campaign, so they sent me 4 books. So the first one is going to be Conversations with RBG. The next one is going to be Dear Girls by Ali Wong. Next up we have As Long as It's Perfect by Lisa Tognola. And then the last one we have is Revelation by Bobby Gentry Goodwin. This one is about social workers. It's about this girl that's been working for Child Protective Services in San Francisco for nearly 5 years, and it's about her finding out something about this family. This one is about this girl who is an assistant contractor, and she's a mom whose role raising kids has become the routine. And I think it's about her building her dream house, or starting to build a dream house. And then these other 2 are nonfiction books. I'm actually really curious to read Dear Girls by Ali Wong because I really do love Ali Wong. So I think maybe if I can get my hands on the audiobook for this one somehow, I'll probably read this one soon. Alright, these next two are from Berkeley. The first one is a finished copy of The Passengers by John Mars, which I am so excited to own a physical copy of this because The Passengers is one of my favorite thrillers of the year so far. This one is a half thriller, kind of half sci-fi because it takes place in the near future where they have self-driving cars and doors on the cars all lock for these 8 people, and they get trapped inside their cars and the route reroutes them and it's saying you're going to die soon. And it's just very terrifying and it feels very Black Mirror vibes, and I just really enjoyed this book. So thank you so much to Berkeley for a finished copy. They also sent A Song for a New Day, which this one is actually really interesting because it says it's captivating speculative fiction that's about people and their love for music, because in this book it takes place in a very like near dystopian sci-fi future where public gatherings get banned because of violence and shootings, I think. So public gatherings get banned, which means concerts also get banned. And so like music lovers have to go to these like sketchy underground places to see concerts, and it's all like illegal now. And I don't know, it just sounds very interesting and I've heard really good things about this. So I'm definitely gonna want to check this one out soon as well. Next up, Penguin Random House sent me 3 books this month. The first one is going to be A Spark of Light by Jodi Picoult, and this one is getting a lot of controversy actually because this one is about this shooting that takes place at an abortion clinic. I don't know, it just says on the back of this, a spark of light will inspire debate, conversation, and hopefully understanding. So like, I don't know if this book is like siding with one thing or the other, but I'm actually really curious to read it because of the controversy. And the next one they sent is Olive Again by Elizabeth Strout, and this one is actually a sequel, which I didn't realize until after I received it. The first book that this author wrote about was called Olive Kitteridge, I think, and then this one is Olive Again. So it's following this girl named Olive. It's her continuing the life of her beloved character, an iconic character who has captured the imagination of millions of readers. I don't know, I've actually never heard of this series. I thought this one looked super cute and it sounded good, but now I realized it's a sequel, like I'm gonna have to read the first one first. And then they also sent this giant Stranger Things art book, and it's Visions from the Upside Down Stranger Things art book. Sorry, I just got my nails done today, so I just like want to tap on everything, you know? Look at this, it's freaking beautiful and it's like massive. And the art in this, absolutely stunning. It's just a bunch of different like art from the show all in this. I've actually like flipped through this quite a few times since I received it because Stranger Things is just one of my favorite things, and like it's so cool to see the art that like inspired the show and art that was done because of the show, like that was inspired from the show. It's just really, really cool. And like anytime Penguin Random House offers something Stranger Things related, I'm like, yes! Thank you so much to Penguin Random House for this. Like this is a freaking treasure right here. Like this needs to be like put up on the wall, you know what I mean? All right, the next thing I received that I'm really, really excited about is from William Morrow Books and Avon Books, and that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. And I've actually never read anything by this author before, but I know that she's like a loved author in the romance fan community. This one I'm really excited to read. Like I feel like this is gonna be the first thing I pick up in November because like I need romance after reading so many spooky books this month. Like I'm so ready to dive back into my romance books. And this one I'm really excited about because a lot of my friends that I really trust have been giving this one really great reviews. And this one is about this girl named Chloe Brown who is chronically ill, and she's a computer geek with a goal and a list. And after almost dying, she comes up with 7 directives to help her get a life, which include enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, travel the world with nothing but hand luggage, and do something bad. And then she meets this guy named Red Morgan who has tattoos and he has a motorcycle. They seem to hit it off, and it just sounds really cute. Like I really just hope that this is like really cute. The next 2 books I received were from Source Books Fire, and they sent me finished copies of the YA thrillers that I showed you last month. Like remember last month they sent me like the giant stack of like 9 arcs of the thriller books, and then they just sent these 2 finished copies. So I've already talked about these books on my channel. I actually did a try a chapter video with all of the 9 thrillers that they sent. So I'll link that in the description if you want more information on either of these 2 books. But yeah, these 2 were ones I think I was especially interested in. I Have No Secrets. So now I have a finished copy, which is pretty cool. So thank you to Source Books. The next one I received is from HMH Teen, and this one is actually an ARC that goes on sale in December, and that is Heartstrings and Other Breakable Things. And this one, as I said, goes on sale in December. This one's like a young adult contemporary novel that looks like it's kind of like Casey West vibes or something, but it's a retelling of, what's it called? It's a retelling of a Jane Austen book. And on the back, it says it's perfect for fans of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Like, I don't know how I feel about YA love triangles, but I did love To All the Boys I've Loved Before, so maybe I'll have to give this book a shot as well. The next one I received is from Montlake Romance, and it was actually included in the box of the Go Scribbler subscription box. That is a subscription box that's really cool because it's for writers as opposed to readers. So they send a book in every box and a bunch of little like goodies for writers, which is like really cool. And so this time they sent Save Your Breath by Melinda Lee. This one is like a thriller, I think, but it follows like a detective, and I think this might be one that's a part of a series. But it's cool because it's about this true crime writer who disappears with no signs of foul play, and her boyfriend suspects the worst. But then it follows from the detective's point of view as they like dig through her life and try to figure out what happened to her, which is like, because I don't love thrillers that follow from detective point of views, but that's pretty cool that it's a true crime writer that goes missing. Like, that's pretty interesting. All right, and the last book that I got sent this month from a publisher is The Crying Book by Heather Crystal. And this one has an interesting cover. It's like eyes crying, and then it's like the teardrops are all like space galaxies, I guess. This one is from Catapult. Apparently, it's a work of non-fiction as she explores the most human of behaviors, crying. What are tears made of? Why do people cry? And why is this common, crucial act so rarely discussed? I think that's interesting. Like, I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but I kind of do like every now and then to read some more like science-y nonfiction books, like why do people do things that they do. So this one does sound interesting. Like, maybe I'll give this one a read sometime. And then this last fat stack of books that I have are all books that I bought for myself this month. The first one that I bought is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I actually just bought this off of Amazon because everybody's been talking about this book for so long and I've never read it, and I really enjoyed the other Margaret Atwood book that I read that was required reading for college. So I do really want to give this one a go, and because I really want to watch the TV show. Like, everybody praises the TV show so much. Planning on reading this one in November probably. I also finally bought Pet Sematary by Stephen King, and I actually did read this book this month, and I made an entire reading vlog dedicated to reading this book. So link will be in the description if you want to see more of that. I also ended up buying Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks, and I did read this one this month because it's the cutest, most perfect book for like autumn and this time of year, like Halloween. And this one is like a young adult, cute, soft contemporary romance that follows these 2 characters who are spending their final senior year at the pumpkin patch where they have worked for the last couple years. And it's just super, super, super soft and cute. I also bought Adam Teen by Hannah Berry. This one is a horror graphic novel. I also bought this one off of Amazon, and I bought this one specifically to read for Spookathon. So I did read this one this month. Again, Spookathon vlogs will be down below if you missed those. I also bought And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, and this is one that I've never read anything by Agatha Christie, and so I wanted this one to be my first. But unfortunately, I got 60 pages into this one during the Spookathon, and this writing style was just like going to put me into a slump if I continued reading it. So I do want to read this one again, maybe sometime soon, but it just, for a readathon, it was not going to work for me. I am still curious to read this one, but I don't know, the writing style is a little much for me. I also ended up getting Misery by Stephen King because everybody was, after I posted my Pet Sematary vlog, everybody was saying that Misery is one of the best Stephen King novels, and I've been looking into more Stephen King because I haven't read too much by him yet, so I have a bunch of reading plans to read a lot more Stephen King towards the end of the year, but this one is definitely one that I'm hoping to get to very soon. I'm really excited about this one actually because it's about this novelist who has finally met his biggest fan. Her name is Annie Wilkes. She gets really upset when she finds out that he's going to kill off her favorite character, and so then I think she like abducts him or something. I don't know. It sounds crazy. I'm excited about it. And the last two books that I bought are Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter and The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling. And I actually just finished reading this book for Night Marathon. This is like one of the first books that I just went to Barnes & Noble, bought it that day, and then started reading it as soon as I got home that night. And I just flew through this like nearly 400-page book so fast. And thank you to Kayla Books and Lala for inspiring me to read this, because she read it for Spookathon and then it inspired me to want to pick it up for Night Marathon. So again, just read this book. You'll hear more about it in my wrap up. This one is an adult thriller, if you were wondering. It's a very, very dark and disturbing, probably the most disturbing book that I've ever read. Like, it literally made my stomach like roll at some parts. Like, it was a lot. And then the last book is The Luminous Dead, which I actually got this book because of Riley's vlogs, because Riley's Spookathon vlogs, she read this book and she gave it 5 stars and she was raving about it. So I'm actually currently reading this one at the moment for Night Marathon, and this one is like a horror sci-fi book that takes place on another planet in like a futuristic setting where this girl is like a caver and she's going like underground into these like spooky caves, and she's by herself, and there's only 2 characters in this book, so it's only our main character and then the girl that's like talking into her ear about like directing her, and she kind of like controls her suit. The back description of this says it has the intense drive of the Martian and gravity, but the creeping dread of annihilation, and it's like a psychological and emotional journey for survival. So like, I am very interested to see where this goes, and it definitely is reading a lot like The Martian to me so far. Anyways, wow, that was a lot of books. I don't usually buy like that many books for myself, usually like within a month. All of these books just sounded so fascinating, and I'm really happy with all of these purchases that I made this month actually. I ended up getting all of these, almost all of these, either off of Amazon or just at Barnes & Noble. And yeah, it's been a while since I just like walked into a Barnes & Noble and just like bought a book on a whim and just like read it that night, you know? Like, it's pretty cool to do that. Those are all of the books that I hauled in October. As I said, any like links that I mentioned will be down below if you want to check those out. And yeah, let me know, how many books did you haul in the month of October? I have read so many books this month. Like, I'm so excited to do my wrap up because I'm on book number 15 at the moment. So I think I'll definitely be able to read at least 15 this month, which is crazy. It's a lot for me. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on any of these books that I mentioned as usual. And thank you guys so much for watching as always. And I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye.